Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to Southwest Flavor. Happy Thursday to everyone. We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. Peña and I are here, and we're going to have a couple great guests that we're going to talk to. And our first guest is Pima County Supervisor for District 1, Rick Scott. Good morning.
Ron, thanks very much. Great to be here with you and Will.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So what's new in the district?
Well, there's always a lot going on in a district as diverse and broad as ours.
Yes.
And I always tell people I was a principal for 19 years before I ran for the board.
Right.
And my favorite days was when I was able to get out on campus and interact with kids and be in the classrooms and hallways and cafeteria, go to their games and concerts. And the best part of this job is when I'm able to get out into the district.
Sure.
And we've had a lot of opportunities to do so recently. Talking with homeowners associations, other neighborhood groups, and getting into schools. My staff knows that I really enjoy getting back into schools and talking to kids, and that's always a really positive thing. We also started, and this is timely being on your show, we also started a podcast series.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's because I've always believed that every educator is a leader because of the impact that educators have on kids through the work that they do in their classrooms and other contact with students. But I also think it's incumbent upon elected officials to be educators and to talk with the people that they represent about the work that the governments that they are serving are doing. And something that I found when I ran for the board in 2020 and ran for re-election in 2024 is that people not only are curious about the work that the Board of Supervisors does, they're also very curious about the work that the county does. And the county is a large entity.
Oh, yeah. Pima County is huge.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We represent over 1 million people, actually close to 1.1 million people. We have right around 7,000 employees, a current budget of $1.7 billion, and we're responsible for delivering a tremendous number of services and supports to those 1.1 million people. So we have started a podcast series where we are interviewing program and department directors in depth about the work that they do in delivering services and supports to our constituents. And each podcast is anywhere from 25 to 45 minutes long, depending on the duration of the conversation. And we really let the program and department directors drive the conversation so that they can be as informative and as detailed as possible with our listeners about the work that they're doing. And that we release a new podcast every other week, and a podcast comes out on the week that we don't do a newsletter. And we've taken the same approach with our newsletter since we started doing it several years ago, where again, we want it to be an educative and informative tool, not only about the decisions that the board has made, but about the work of Pima County government.
That is awesome. So whose idea was it to start a podcast?
You know, I will give full credit to Kim Briggs, who is one of the staff members in my office. She had the original concept for podcasts, and we talked it through as a team. Her leading the conversation because, again, it was her idea, and she's the one who got us connected with the podcast company that we're working with. She's the one who made arrangements with Pima County Communications to help promote the podcasts. But then it's been a whole staff effort in terms of prepping the department and program directors.
Sure.
And we have a new staff member on board because one of our long-term staff members retired at the beginning of December, and that new staff member has jumped right in terms of helping the program and department directors get ready.
Wonderful.
Nice. And where can we find this podcast?
You know, Will, thank you, because that's what I always forget to do is tell people how to find it. You can find it on any of your typical podcast platforms like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but you can also find it on YouTube. And if you want to watch us, you can do that as well. We are finding that more people are likely to listen than to watch.
Right.
But we've had a decent number of YouTube subscribers as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who have you had on?
So our first podcast was with Nicole Scott, no relation to me. She oversees our Pima Early Education Program scholarships. Our second podcast was with Jen Darland, who runs the Office of Housing Opportunities and Homeless Solutions. Our third one was with Heath Vescovi-Chiordi, who is the county's Economic Development Director. Those are the three that have been released. There will be another one released today. And we're recording two more tomorrow. One of the ones that we're recording tomorrow is with Mike Ortega, who is the executive director of the Pima Association of Governments and the Regional Transportation Authority. And we're going to talk about RTA Next.
Yeah.
But we're going to be very careful not to promote RTA Next because we're going to be using government resources for that podcast. But Mike being a former town and city manager, he's going to know how to walk that line, and my staff will make sure I do as well.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about RTA Next, because that is a big issue, a big topic that's coming up real quick here.
It's huge, and as some of your viewers may know, I was the county's representative to the RTA board from 2021 until the beginning of this term, and Supervisor Grijalva had that position before she resigned to run for Congress after her father passed away, and Supervisor Hines is now our representative to the RTA board. But I did that work for 4 years, and during that 4 years, we were working very hard. The RTA board members, and the RTA board members, for people who don't know, it's a 9-member board. One Pima County Supervisor serves as the representative of the county. The chair of the Pasquayaki tribe, the chair of the Tohono O'odham Nation, the governor's Southern Arizona representative of the State Transportation Board, and then the 5 mayors of our cities and towns make up the 9 members of the RTA board. And we were working during that 4-year period to finalize the work of the Citizens Advisory Commission and to come up with an RTA Next plan that could appeal to everybody in the county, regardless of where they lived. And I felt like we had made good progress by the end of 2024, which was when my tenure ended. And I'm really proud of all 9 members of that board because they unanimously agreed on a plan that they have put forward to the voters. And
that's something hard to do.
Yes,
with 9 members.
Yes, it is.
That is.
And each one of them, of course, trying to represent the interests of their jurisdiction and the people that they represent. I always felt when I was there that I was the spokesperson for the right around 36% of the people in Pima County who live in unincorporated portions of the county.
Sure, like we do.
And yes, absolutely. And the mayors, of course, are representing the interest of their cities and towns. Same with the chairs of the nation and the tribe. I kind of envy Ted Maxwell, who is the governor's Southern Arizona representative of the State Transportation Board, because he's not only the only one of us who's not elected, but he also, I think, can act and speak more freely because of that. And he does a tremendous job of figuring out how to bring people together.
Right.
And I think a big amount of credit for the fact that the RTA board ultimately unanimously agreed to the plan that is going before voters. It goes to General Maxwell. He was a coalescing force through the entire time that he was on the board, and he and I joined the board at the same time. Mr. Hammond had been the governor's Southern Arizona representative to the State Transportation Board for many years, and right around the time I joined the board, General Maxwell did. So it was a pleasure to work with him for 4 years, and I think he continues to be, as I said, a coalescing force in putting this plan forward. So ballots go out February 11th. And they are due by March 10th. And I can say it on your your podcast, your show, but that I'm 100% in favor of propositions 418 and 419.
Right.
And I recently submitted a column to one of our local newspapers that I hope will run in the next few days, speaking to why it's a good thing for the entire county, and specifically why it's good for District 1, the district I represent on the Board of Supervisors.
Right. There are so many big projects that won't get done
No.
if this doesn't pass. And it'll just have a huge impact on traffic and safety and just the way that we live our normal lives.
Well, and we're a very interconnected region. There are people who are watching us, people who I represent, who live in one portion of the county, drive through other portions on their way to work, and then work in a completely different portion of the county.
Sure.
We're extraordinarily interconnected with each other.
Yeah.
And
Both Will and I are, that's the exact scenario for both of us.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for so many people who are going to be voting on this. And the reality is that there isn't going to be any funding from the federal government or the state government that's going to be coming into this region for anything other than maintenance.
Yeah.
And the RTA sales tax, which was first enacted by voters in 2006, is a half-cent sales tax. That's what's on the ballot, is a continuation of that sales tax. So
Right.
it will not raise taxes above their current level.
Right. And it's not a new tax, it's just a continuation
exactly.
of what's already happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But without it, we are not only going to be foregoing a stable and predictable source of funding for that interconnected infrastructure that is the reality for all of our lives, but there really is no way that local jurisdictions can fill the void.
Right.
And speaking again about that significant percentage, right around 36% of our population that lives in the unincorporated county, we are really at a disadvantage without the RTA tax.
Right.
Because the only way that the county can enact a sales tax, and this is written into state law, is by a unanimous vote of the Board of Supervisors. And that is extraordinarily unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
I know there are some people who think that we could dedicate a small portion of the property tax to road repair and maintenance. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because we already have responsibility, the county does, for over 2,200 miles of roadway within the unincorporated county. And we already have other needs, not just those, but everything else that the county is responsible for funding that are dependent upon property tax revenue.
Yeah.
So it's foolhardy and unrealistic to think that local governments can make up for what the RTA half-cent sales tax provides. So I'm strongly in favor of Prop 418 and 419 and hope that they pass.
Okay, so what is worst case scenario? It doesn't pass. What happens to all the current projects that are going right now?
Well, I can tell you, Will, that when I was a member of the RTA board, the entire board committed to making sure that all of the projects in RTA 1, the plan that was passed in 2006, will be completed.
Okay.
But it will require then making use of any federal and state funds that come into the region and also local funds to pay for those projects. Those projects will be completed even if RTA Next is not passed. That's the commitment of the board. But it will be an additional burden on our local infrastructure to do that because we'll be using funds that perhaps we could use for other projects and needs to complete those RTA 1 projects.
Right. Right. Let's take a quick sponsor break.
Okay.
Real quick, and we will be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
Hey everybody, it's Chris.
Hey, it's David Samarano.
Hey guys, it's Clint Peak over here.
Hi, I'm Blair Lametti Mathias.
And I'm Summer Smeaton.
Hey, I'm Ron Arenas.
And I'm Will Peña.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Curry.
And I'm Mike Bader.
Hi there, I'm Bruce Ash.
Hi, Ed Wilkinson here.
Hi, this is Bob Elliott.
We are Live the Dream Media. Watch and listen to all of our shows Monday through Friday, only on the Live the Dream Media Network.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Piper Family Painting. We believe great paint does more than just change a color. It protects a home and the people inside of it. From careful prep to the final coat, our team shows up with pride, precision, and respect for your property. We don't rush, we don't cut corners. We paint it like it's our own home, because in this Tucson community, it is. Piper Family Painting, bringing new colors to the Old West.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
Life is all about change and growth. You grow from renting to buying, your kids grow from toddling to driving, and then you grow from working to retiring. Is your insurance agent growing through life with you? I'm your local Allstate agent, Brittany Gutman. My team and I can help you navigate all those changes through home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with the Brittany Gutman Allstate Insurance family. Call me at 520-797-7811 or email bgutman@allstate.com.
All right, we are back. We're talking with Rex Scott, Pima County Supervisor of District 1. And just to be clear for everyone, the RTA Next, this isn't for maintenance for residential roads.
No.
This is for major arterial roads and projects like, you know, on the last RTA, like the Twin Peaks, the Ina, the Houghton, all those projects were done on the RTA.
Correct. The 5 cities and towns and the county are responsible for repair and maintenance of roads within their jurisdictional boundaries. I mentioned in the earlier segment, the county has responsibility for over 2,200 miles of roadway in the unincorporated county. We're responsible for the repair and maintenance of those roads. The maintenance money that is within RTA Next, and I think it's right around $177 million, is for those roadways that are RTA responsibilities that cross jurisdictional lines.
Yeah, right. Okay. We have a listener, Mike, that had a question. He said, "What about the bonds that you want to issue?"
Well, Mike is paying attention to discussions in county government, and there have been public comments made by the county administrator, by myself, by other supervisors about the fact that we are likely to consider talking about bonds in the future to fund long-term capital improvements. In fact, we have a retreat coming up, and it will be live streamed because it's a public meeting. It'll be live streamed on February 9th, which is a Monday, and that will be where I think the public will hear the first extensive discussions at a board level about the potential of a bond package. But I know that the county administrator has reached out to all the board offices. She sent staff to talk with me and my staff about a bond package to look at long-term capital needs moving forward. We haven't had one in front of the voters in 8 years. We haven't passed one in I believe, 12 years.
Wow. Yeah.
The last one was the bond package that funded construction of the Pima Animal Care Center. So it's time to start talking about bonds again. All local governments, counties, cities use bonds to fund long-term capital needs, and we need to have that discussion.
Okay, all right. And then you mentioned Jan.
Yes.
And she announced that she's retiring at the end of this year?
So the last time we offered a contract to Ms. Lesher, it was for a 2-year period with 2 1-year renewal options. And when she signed that contract, she indicated not just to the board, but to the public, she said it in a media interview that she will not exercise either of those renewal options. So one of the other things that we're going to need to talk about at this retreat and several other times at the board level moving forward is what process are we going to have to select a new county administrator? Because unless Ms. Lesher changes her mind, and I don't anticipate that she is going to, we're going to have a new county administrator at the beginning of 2027.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you guys just don't have much turnover in that position. It's been a long time.
Mr. Huckleberry was appointed by the board that was sitting at that time in 1993.
Wow.
And then he was retained by every successive board. And it's interesting, he was appointed by the last majority Republican board.
Oh, okay.
But then he was retained by every subsequent board, which was majority Democratic.
Yeah.
And he stayed with us until he had his very tragic bicycle accident and was unable to continue his duties. We had Ms. Lesher, who was the chief deputy, in place as an interim county administrator, and then we appointed her as the full-time county administrator, and she has performed at an exceptional level and a very selfless level during that time, and it will be difficult to replace her, but that's what we're going to have to do by the end of this year.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think, and the board has not discussed this yet, so this is just me with my own personal views. I think we need to have a process that includes a search, a nationwide search, because when you've had 2 people, and it was there was no need to do a search when we appointed Ms. Lesher to replace Mr. Huckleberry. She had been with the county since 2012. She had extensive experience, not just at the county, but at the state and federal levels, including being the chief of staff to Janet Napolitano when Janet Napolitano was governor, and then when she was the first Homeland Security Secretary.
Right.
Not the first Homeland Security Secretary, but the secretary under President Obama. It was obvious that she was the best candidate. We didn't do a search at that time. But I think we should do one this time. I think the community is going to expect that when we're looking at somebody other than someone with the last name Huckleberry or Lesher for the first time since 1993.
Yeah.
So I think we need to do an extensive search process. And even if that search process ends up settling on a local candidate, it's still something I think we need to get underway because I think it's going to give whoever we appoint a tremendous amount of credibility with the public.
Right, definitely. Well, one more time, let's can we just tell our listeners about the vote for the RTA Next?
Yes.
Because it's coming up and it's very important.
And again, ballots go out on February 11th. They need to be returned by March 10th. It is a completely mail-in ballot.
Right.
So it's important that people, and ballots will be sent to all eligible voters, which is everybody in the county. I certainly hope that people will vote for both these propositions. The first one deals with the plan. The second one deals with the continuation of the tax. Again, it is not going to be an increase in taxes. It's a continuation of a tax that's been in place since 2006. And there really is no viable backup plan that anybody has put forth, that anybody has described. And just for my district, something that I'd ask people to consider is that there's going to be improvements to key corridors such as Thornydale, Lambert, Orange Grove, Ina, as well as new roadway connections that will really help to improve safety and regional travel. There's also going to be improvements to interchanges along I-10. Just as an example of one of the corridor projects, First Avenue between Orange Grove and Ina will be upgraded as a modern 3-lane roadway.
Oh, nice.
With bicycle, pedestrian, and drainage improvements. And I have had all kinds of concerns about First Avenue expressed to me since I took this office. And there's 2 First Avenue projects. One of them is a county project. One of them is a city project. And the city project is south of River. The county project is north of River. But they're both vital to that very significant roadway that so many people take from other parts of the county to go and work in the city.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank
We'd love to have you on again.
Well, this was my second visit, and would be happy to schedule a third and many more.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, we're going to take a quick sponsor break. We will be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Piper Family Painting. We believe great paint does more than just change a color. It protects a home and the people inside of it. From careful prep to the final coat, Our team shows up with pride, precision, and respect for your property. We don't rush. We don't cut corners. We paint it like it's our own home, because in this Tucson community, it is. Piper Family Painting, bringing new colors to the Old West.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
Life is all about change and growth. You grow from renting to buying, your kids grow from toddling to driving, and then you grow from working to retiring. Is your insurance agent growing through life with you? I'm your local Allstate agent, Brittany Gutman. My team and I can help you navigate all those changes through home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with the Brittany Gutman Allstate Insurance family. Call me at 520-797-7811 or email bgutman@allstate.com.
Hey everybody, it's Chris.
Hey, it's David Samarano.
Hey guys, it's Clint Peak over here.
Hi, I'm Blair Lametti Mathias.
And I'm Summer Smeaton.
Hey, I'm Ron Arenas.
And I'm Will Peña.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Curry.
And I'm Mike Bader.
Hi there, I'm Bruce Ash.
Hi, Ed Wilkinson here.
Hi, this is Bob Elliott.
We are Live the Dream Media. Watch and listen to all of our shows Monday through Friday, only on the Live the Dream Media Network.
All right, we are back. You're watching Southwest Flavor. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Will and I are talking with our next guest, Dr. Joe Utash of Wellness Key Chiropractic. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I've been looking forward to this today.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it too. We've been talking a long time.
Yeah, no kidding. And just in preparation for this, for our time together today, I was just really talking about, we've known each other for a while, and I've kind of seen.
I think over 10 years now.
Yeah, the business, the community evolve, and I was at a men's group at church last night, and I was kind of looking at different people from all different walks of life, and we were talking about it was a men's group, and we were talking about the first week was on fitness, and of course that's my wheelhouse. I love that. And, then finances, and then yesterday it was family, and how to set these things up, and today I really kind of wanted to have kind of. Pick you guys' brains on ideas for setting up, around your maybe a couple years ahead of me when it comes to raising your family.
Just a couple, yeah.
And some strategies that we find here that have been successful for raising healthy families here in the Southwest. And I think that's it's kind of a cornerstone to really our civilization, to our existence as a strong, healthy family. And how do we do it? How do we keep it together? The wins, the losses, and what's the cool, fun habits that the rituals that families have, successful families have, that keep them successful.
Right. Man, there's so much that goes into that. That's a whole week series.
Yeah, no, it's good. Obviously, this my church has me thinking. We have a couple of kids ourselves, and we every dad wants the best for their kids, right?
Sure.
And so you want to see them, be more successful and have a quality of life that they're giving, not just receiving and taking. And how do you prep a son for that? How do you prep a daughter for that?
Right.
What does that look like?
Well, there's always three aspects to all of that, and it's physical, mental, and spiritual. And you have to be healthy in all three of those aspects.
100%.
So raising a healthy family, first of all, you got to be present. You got to be there for your kids and your wife, because you and your wife are a team. You can't do it without your wife. People do single family homes, but
it's tough.
God meant us to be a team,
100%,
and to complement each other and to fill the gaps in there. So, you're there as a team, and one has strengths and the other has strengths, and you just build on that and you put that team together.
So when you're building this business that you've been doing over the years now, I saw you guys. Congratulations on the 25 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
that's amazing. Not only to be married and to have that business for that long.
Right.
I mean, you're shooting a pretty tiny bullseye. So that's pretty impressive. But
and Will works with his wife also.
It's pretty amazing. How long have you guys been married, Will?
We've been married. Oh, don't put me on the spot. We've been married 25 years.
Congratulations, man! Congratulations. Years, it's a lot of work, but I just see it's become even a thing. Before we got married, so we've been married for 18 and a half years.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, I met my wife on eHarmony. Judge
nice.
me or not, but
No judgment, man.
But at that time it worked. I was busy at work, and it was a way that I could try to meet different people with what I thought was the qualifications that I was looking for at the time. One of those things was that her parents were married, and I brought that up last night at church. But it's something that I would encourage my kids. And again, I know statistically, right, less than 50% of people, marriages end in divorce, and so that kind of negates half the people there. But for me, it's proven a successful strategy because certainly marriage is not a perfect, black and white, blah, blah, blah. There's two selfish people coming together, right?
Right.
But that's even translated into our business now. And I've just noticed employees over the years, those who have a stable home life or a stable life growing up, they just, I don't know if you guys have noticed the same thing.
Sure.
That they just, they tend to make better decisions. They tend to have the stick-to-itiveness to show up at work on Monday. And
to see it through.
To see it through, right?
Yeah.
And there's something that translates there. Mm-hmm. And it's not just a money thing. It's just, I feel like in business I'm starting to see some of these things as I get older, and I'm starting to kind of step back and analyze the people that I've encountered, how important that successful family is to making a successful business. To really just success being, enjoyment and giving and, healthy, like I said, in all three areas, not just financially.
Right. And as fathers, we're supposed to be the example. We're supposed to lead the household, and we lead by example. And so, you want to put your best foot forward every day, and we're all going to fail.
100%.
Fail every day, pretty much. But you have to show your family that there are going to be failures along the way, and how do we overcome those?
Yep. And in fact, we've been at our office, Wellness Key Chiropractic. We've recently had another office join us, and so now we essentially have double the team members. And so this month has been a transition month where kind of people were finding our roles and our groove. Right. And one of the biggest things at our first team meeting that I went over with everybody is like, what, mistakes are going to happen, and I never get upset with people at a simple mistake. Mm-hmm. Now, if you try to hide something, that's more to me an integrity issue versus a mistake issue.
Exactly.
But I said, hey guys, here's our goal right now. We're new together. Let's fail faster. Let's do this thing. Let's go after it, and let's make some mistakes. Figure out what those mistakes were. Let's try not to do those again, and then figure out where we need to move and groove. And so that's why it's not about hiding the mistakes, but like you said, it's like, hey, I made a mistake here. I was wrong. That didn't work out. Let's try something better this next time around. And there's no, like I said, there's no perfect dad. Well, there's one, but he's not, right? There's no perfect dad. There's no perfect business leader, business owner. It's really like, hey, how can we do this better? And then it's like that phrase, can I, right? Constant and never ending improvement, right? And so that's kind of what I was talking to my wife this morning. We were taking our dog for the walk we do every single morning. And I was like, what is it that we want to pass on to our kids? What is it that I can share with people that, what has been the biggest thing that has helped us? Like, we've worked hard, we've made lots of mistakes, we keep making lots of mistakes, but how do I keep doing it the next day? And I think it's really just that, like, it's starting with a great morning routine. And for me, it's morning, maybe it's an afternoon routine for you, but for me, it's like the first thing in the morning. And I've had coaches tell me before, it's like a war plan or solid double yellow lines. They've framed it in different frames, but I'd be interested to hear what yours are. But certain habits or rituals that you do in the morning that over time build on each other that create the person I'm looking at right now. And, why is it you? Why aren't you on a truck or a roof right now? Right? Because, right? I mean, so.
And I was for a long time.
100%, right.
For 20 years, I was out there on the truck and doing everything else.
But you've evolved.
Yeah.
And something that you've done over the last, decades has led to where, the quality of life and where you're at today. And I think if we just kind of sit and look at where we're at, I think all of us, if we really see like, hey man, I'm not exactly where I want to be at in this particular area or this area or this area. Maybe it's finances or fitness or faith or family or whatever. What are you doing on the regular that you can increase your chances of becoming that person that we're supposed to be? And that's my head has been all around that because it's now I almost do it without even thinking about it. But we were talking about it. It's like, what are you feeding your brain on a regular basis?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Who's whispering in your ear?
Yeah.
I think we could all get on and agree that we get on X or Facebook or blah, 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 you name the social media, and it's in your ear, and, it can change your emotions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? And so instead of that, and I'm not saying don't ever do that, but what I am saying is like, grow the monster that you want to be the biggest in your life, right? And so, what is that? Is it for me? It's I want to read something to do with health and health related, and something that's that I can share and I can help impact people's health for a positive way. For me, my faith is important. So, this morning I was reading on Proverbs and how do we stay humble, even in success, stay humble. How do you no matter what's going on in your life, don't go for all the glory. Go for, share the glory when it goes well, take responsibility when it goes poorly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it was Proverbs 14, 15, 16. And so starting that off kind of like set my tone for the day. And then, I'm listening to a business podcast of a lady of how to get to that next level. So it's humbly trying to keep striving to get better, and then also kind of maintaining what you're already doing. And then, as a dad, how do we do that and still have the time and energy for our families and taking care of them?
Yeah. Well, that's a great thing that you mentioned is, energy. How do you have energy? How do you have energy throughout the whole day? Because we're all busy working. We have all the things that we're trying to get accomplished every day, but that physical part is something that we have to pay attention to, especially as we're getting older. Not looking at you, Will. Well, it's a couple years on me. But
just a couple.
Just a couple. We're both getting a little bit older here.
Right. Yeah.
But, you talked about what you feed your mind,
How about feeding your body, right? And there is that mind-body connection, but I would even say your energy, obviously today, is a reflection of even what you ate yesterday as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Jeff and I talk about that a lot of times when we're on a bike ride. And sometimes it's like, man, I didn't really eat right last night, and now I don't have the energy today to get up this hill.
You feel that, right? And and so what you ate last night, I mentioned that the last time I was here on this podcast, again, I'm not 100% into these things, but I would say most of the time right now, I'm doing the intermittent fasting. And so I do breakfast, lunch, I don't do dinner. And so that gives my body enough time to burn off those carbs, to stay lean and trim. And then in the morning, I'm like ready to go. And so that's kind of been my strategy I've had for the last 2-3 months now. And then in the morning, not 100%. This morning, though, I'm back at it again, is when I noticed that when I do coffee right away in the morning with caffeine, maybe you guys are the same way, but you kind of get that schlump around 2 o'clock, 1:32, 2:33. I get up pretty early, so my slump might be a little earlier. But you get that slump. I also noticed that if I go, like I did, I enjoy coffee. So I did a decaf coffee this morning, the first thing. And so first thing I wake up, I like that warm beverage. I had a decaf coffee, sat there doing my, reading my devotions. And, I still get the enjoyment of the warm coffee. Right. I'm peaceful and calm, and I'm not using that caffeine to like hype me up. Like my body, there's no alarm set this morning. It's my body woke up naturally because I went to bed at a regular time. And so what I ate the night before, how I went to bed. So if there's a couple tips that I can give your listeners, it'd be like, have a set bedtime. I know that sounds like 12-year-old, right?
But as we get older, we pretty much do have a
right. I mean,
most of us have a set
if you talk to any of my 80-year-old patients, they go to bed at the same time every night, right?
Yeah.
And so, and it's they've realized in their wisdom that it seems to make more sense when they do something consistently.
Yeah.
And maybe that old phrase stuck in your ways. Maybe sometimes it's not a bad idea.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So for us, we're always in bed way before 9 o'clock, and so even though go to bed early. For me, don't eat before I go to bed. Drink some water. We've been doing hot tea in the evening, so some sort of herbal tea in the evening just kind of calms the system down. Go to bed. Like I have my same routine. It's like my dog knows what I'm going to do. So if he follows me around and, boom, I'm going to come home. I'm going to say hi to the kids. Boom, pretty much we have the tea. We go to the shower. We go to bed. Boom. My night is pretty boring and very early. So I'm one of those old people. But my day starts off also kind of boring, but I still love that morning time it's like I own it.
Yeah.
It's mine. There's no one around that's like begging for my attention. And so I got the morning. I can listen to, do whatever I want to do. That's also when I get my workout in. So I go from there. As soon as I get done reading, and drinking that first cup of coffee, we lay right down on the floor. We got some rugs for our cold tile floors, and we lay down on the floor. And my wife and I do crunches.
Okay.
And so I bust out 100 of them, and I do my neck exercises. I know I'm nerdy, but I try to preach what I practice.
Sure.
And so I do those exercises as I'm doing my core. I wake up and we go to the sauna, and then we sweat it out for 15, 20 minutes. My wife and I are kind of talking about the day. Okay, what about this? What about this? What about yesterday? Because if you ask me at 8 o'clock at night or 7:30 or 8:15 in the evening, you're going to get like barely two brain cells rubbing together.
Right.
You're not going to get a good answer.
Yeah.
And this is me, but I think that if we analyze ourselves, you're going to find the same thing. Like we have patterns. We have times that are better to talk and better to kind of come together and strategize.
Yeah, that's one
than
of the main
others.
things. Yep.
And I think Emily, my wife, kind of found out early on that coming to bed at night and then trying to have a serious conversation with me as we're about to fall asleep. It didn't go very well for both of us. She gets frustrated, and I get frustrated eventually because I'm giving one-word answers, and then we're not really getting anywhere. And so we found a way to make that work.
Yeah.
And I think if a person can start to learn themselves better, then they can relate to the world better. Then they can win their day.
Sure, sure. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses,
right?
So you need to learn if you're a morning person or an evening person. Like my son Abel. He's an evening person. He does his best work at like midnight.
Wow.
Yeah. He's up late. He's doing his stuff. He's looking at projects or doing proposals. All those things.
And his brain works at night.
His brain works at night. Yeah. I can get up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I can do all that stuff.
I'm with you. I have a well-rested brain, and all through college I was the same way. There's those late night crammers, and they'd be like all night long. It would never work for me. I tried it a couple times. I'd be better let me pass through the material. I'm having a good night's sleep. Let me wake up an hour early, hit that, and then it's in my brain, and then I'm ready to go.
Okay.
And then now, like I said, when I caffeinate myself is strategic. And so I don't want to, if I have one bullet in my gun, I want to use it in the right time. And
sure.
And so it's not just to get my groggy butt out of bed. It's going to be like, okay, I know I have a podcast with Ron this morning. I know I have some marketing I'm going to do a little bit later. I have about 4-hour window when the caffeine's going to hit, and it's useful for me. So when can I strategize and use that the best?
Yeah.
And so I guess you could say it's almost like using it like a brain drug, right? So
sure.
And the same thing goes for fuel, right?
Same thing goes for fuel. That's what I was going to say. That I definitely feel it when maybe we go out to a party or we go out to eat,
right?
And you're eating stuff. You're eating the fried foods and the sugars and the processed foods,
perhaps
and stuff.
even adult beverages,
and maybe a couple adult beverages at a football game or something. You have football, or you have a beer and a hot dog and some nachos at the football game, and the next day you just don't feel
right. It's not rocket
as
fuel.
energetic.
Right.
Yeah, you're kind of groggy, and you're like a sloth. You're just kind of moving along.
So here's my suggestion for that. Don't stop, but maybe split it with your wife, right? Or
Sure.
maybe do one of those things enjoy the snot out of it and drink a ton of water as you do it, or certainly, if you're at the game, right after the game, a ton of water.
Yeah.
Not too much as we get older before we go to bed, because that just means an interrupted sleep. But
So, Dr. Joe, what can we do when we hit that spot at 3 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, where we're starting to get a little drowsy and a little
groggy
there? I mean, what can we? What I tend to do is I get up and I walk.
I love that idea. That was literally at the top of my mind. I would say get the body moving, because stimulation of the body stimulates the brain, and so get that brain moving again. Drink a big full glass of water, right? Big glass of water and a walk, and then I love nose breathing, and so it's in through the nose, or it might even be called box breathing. In through the nose, hold, so a 3 to 4 second in through the nose, hold for 3 to 4 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth, 3 to 4 seconds, hold 3 to 4 seconds. Box breathing, Navy SEALs do it. You can look at, there's like presenters that talk about this subject all the time. And so if you're stressed, or if you're groggy, or if you're just out of sorts, it's
or
a good way
agitated,
to It's going to stimulate that frontal lobe. It'll get you into the part that makes us like the actual awesome humans that we are, right? Instead of into instead of that hind lizard brain, which is that fight or flight mechanism. And so that nose breathing, the walking, the cup of water is great. And then again, my strategy would start probably the night before or the morning of, when I don't wait 60 minutes to an hour and a half before you have that first coffee. And so before that caffeine hits you, let your body actually wake up. Use the, I'm going to probably butcher this, I think it's adenosine, but use that up. It'll start to dissipate, and then you'll have less of that schlump down the road. So if you look at our house, we usually have 2 coffees going. So we'll have the decaf first, and then we'll have the Nespresso second. And so we start with this one. We still enjoy it. I know the decaf is. I'm picking my poison right now. Decaf is not the best for you. For those of listening.
Well, it depends how it's decaffeinated.
Processed,
also,
right?
yes,
Right.
how it's processed. Yeah.
Right. But that for us tends to help my energy systems. Because just the way that my day is split up is I see patients in the morning, and then I have a lunch, and then my biggest meal of the day is typically lunch. And so I have this big old belly full of food, and then I'm about to go. I have to focus to get back into patients. And so it is like, come on, body, let's go to get. And so it's the same thing. So it's been a real problem in my life that I found that the decaf first, followed by the caffeine, has helped some of that.
Okay. Yeah. I try to have a big glass of water first thing in the morning.
First thing, 100%. Let that hit that. I think I was telling you guys last time that we were doing cloves. So cloves in the water can also help with the parasites, but it's an inexpensive thing. My wife will soak in glass mason jars 10 to 12 cloves in there overnight. Kind of turns the water, kind of Flint water brown. But we chug that thing right away first, and then have that. Yeah, when I was growing up, I never had water going to bed. But man, part of living, I think, here in the desert is I'm from Michigan, and living here in the desert, man, I like to have. You have to drink more water.
Yeah.
Our joints require it.
Yeah.
So if you have a headache, if you have a stiff, achy joint, the first thing I would say is get more water.
Yeah.
Get more water into yourself before the activity. Ideally, if you're a golfer, if you're a mountain bike rider, a bike rider like you are, Ron, or maybe you're a pickleballer, but get the water in first, and you'll start seeing. And again, depending on how long you've been dehydrated, sometimes it takes some time for your body. It's kind of like a real sponge, right? So you pour that water in your body. At first, you'll just be peeing a lot, but eventually your body will start soaking up more and more of that water.
Yeah.
And so you have to keep up that habit. And I just know some of my patients are they're underhydrating. And so if we could just start with that first habit,
I think most of us are underhydrating, especially here in the desert.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And look at the country right now, isn't it? I mean, we are so blessed. It's sunny. It's 60-something degrees, and they're like 20. My parents live in Michigan, and we saw the other day they had a negative 20 wind chill. Oh. Negative 20. That's miserable.
Can't imagine that.
Stay inside weather.
Yeah, that is. And then you go all stir crazy.
Yeah,
and
you get cabin fever.
Yeah, and there's no sunlight, and
right.
Oh yeah,
right. And you can get depressed.
They get that SAD, the seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
it's a real thing up there. So we're pretty blessed and grateful. But then we have some other things like we have to worry about the dehydration. So watching our body and for dehydration. It's something that we just, you should know how much water goes in your body and really keep track of that. It's worth it.
Right. And it can help with brain fog too.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If you're not thinking right, it could be the middle of the day or whatever. Maybe you haven't ate or you did eat, but you're just not drinking throughout the day.
Right. And drinking a Pepsi or a Diet Coke, I just want to clarify, that does not count as hydration.
Right.
Does not count as hydration.
It has water in it.
It does have water in it. But the other properties actually pull water out of the system.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful with that. Again, there's a lot of great people out there that's just pure water is great.
Yeah.
Well, here's to you, Doc.
All right. Cheers.
So how do people find you at Wellness Key Chiropractic?
So wellnesskeychiro.com is our website. If you can find us on all the social platforms, just look for Wellness Key Chiropractic here in Tucson. I believe we have like over 1,000 videos on YouTube. How to help with headaches, those are common ones. Obviously, some exercises to help yourself with back pain, sciatic pain that kind of goes into your bottom. A lot of neck pain, right? So
sure.
A lot of people working from home, so computer sniffers as that
and our phones.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yes.
The phones. And Ron's been a patient long enough where he'll probably see me tapping people or lifting arms up because if that head, think of your head as 10, 12, 15 pounds over your shoulders. Every inch that head goes forward is another 10 pounds of stress on that neck. So from cervicogenic headaches to tight shoulders, honey rub my shoulders, to the kind of the pain radiating traveling down the back. And if it gets really bad, and if it's been there a long time, it really wears that spine out faster, which can lead to like numbness and tingling in the fingers. Or for guys, especially older gentlemen, their grip strength is important to them. I know my grandpa always had a firm handshake.
Yeah.
And so when we start having that forward head posture, it puts pressure on those nerves. I'll actually see some people where they have degeneration in their neck, and it's caused some of these muscles to wither away.
Oh, wow.
And so it actually gets smaller. And so you can start to see some people's hands if they've have some really bad forward head posture. Look at your parents' hands, look at your friend's hands, and see that muscle in between your thumb and your index finger. See if it looks a little bit smaller. And so that's an indication that you've probably had long-term nerve damage from that lower neck into that hand. Probably started out with the occasional numbness and tingling in the hands and fingers, but these muscles are going to be greatly affected, and then our grip strength, and then now I can't open jars. Now I have a hard time opening doors. I lose some of the coordination of my fingers, all from that head starting to go forward from sniffing your cell phone too much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Joe. Thank you for coming on today, and we look forward to seeing you every month.
Awesome. I look forward to being here, Ron.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we're going to see your commercials soon. You'll
Very
be on
soon.
every show.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. All right, that's another episode of Southwest Flavor. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. We'll